I don't have any other choice here. I have to play pretty much g5, right? Every other scenario is bad. Like if I let him take on f6, that's not good. Can't play c6, can't play bishop e7.
Okay, bishop e7 even you can play. Because after bishop e7 he can't take e5 because if he take e5 you can take just like knight d5.
That's true.
But
Well, I
this
mean, I
is a
wouldn't play bishop e7 because he's gonna play bishop knight takes e7.
knight takes.
Maybe he'll just take my bishop on e7, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really want that scenario. I would go for g5 here, man. After g5, if bishop g3, then I take on d5, then play f5, right? Something aggressive.
Okay, if you play g5, first you need to take this. Otherwise, this is completely losing for him because if you play g4, bishop g3, you just take and play. Like, okay, play queen e7. Or so, what about what you can play here? Your position is good because like even bishop g4. Bishop g4 is still strong move. After bishop g4, bishop f3 and f5. G3
Mhm.
bishops like look like pawn.
Yeah,
Okay, so here he need to take bishop queen takes bishop g3.
yeah.
Okay, now what you can do?
Probably the same thing, right? Bishop g4. And maybe exchange on f3, potentially. And just play that endgame where he's got that structural weakness. Although I do have a bad bishop. That's one thing. So I don't know if I want to go into that. Uh, that's something I have to think about. Do I want to take on an endgame where I have the bad bishop, but he's got the pawn structure issue on f3, or
Okay, so you wanna play here bishop g4
possibly, bishop g4.
or bishop
What else?
e6.
I think else could play here. Let me think again. What else is possible? Maybe even h5 is possible. My threat is to play g4, kick the knight off, h6, or for h5, if he plays h4, which he pretty much has to, then he's running into g4.
Your voice is very low. Like I
Um,
can't hear properly.
now,
Yeah, now little bit better.
okay, if it's worse, then let me know. I'll change my internet. I was just saying, like, maybe h5 even makes sense, right? I'm trying to trap the bishop, and if he tries to play, like, I don't know, I guess he could play
h4 he need
h3.
to play, otherwise he don't have any other choice.
Yeah, if he plays h3,
h3 not h4.
well, if he plays h4, then, I'm gonna play g4, kick the
And
knight back,
knight d2, yeah.
and then probably play
Okay, you need to see the position. What is the position actually? So just see. Okay, so you have two bishop. Your opponent have knight and bishop, but your opponent bishop on not a good shape. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you like, this is the position. So if you exchange this knight queen, and if your opponent pawn on f3, you are just see the position. You are just up a piece.
Right.
So you need to think that way, not you like a h5. Okay, h5. If you are create some like a good thing, then it's okay. But otherwise, bishop g4 is very powerful move. Okay, bishop g2, whatever he played, you don't need to care about this. You just take f3. If you take queen take, then take. Or pawn take, it's also same thing. Just a bishop on like a trap kind of trap. Bishop has no square because your pawn on f2 also you have a pawn. Yeah, how to move f2
Mm.
pawn? Or without f moving f2 pawn, your bishop is like no square. Okay, still play in the game. Bishop f3, queen f3, queen f3, gf3.
Yeah, now you can play
Just play
f5.
f6. Why you are playing f5?
Well, I was gonna go after f3, but I guess then I have a problem on e5, right?
So you just play f6. Okay. So you need to play queen side. King side, you are just up a piece. Okay. Don't need
Okay.
to do anything here.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's
Okay, if
true.
you
The
play
bishop is
f5, he
completely
will
trapped,
take.
actually. Yeah, I
Yeah,
realized.
yeah. So if you play f5, he will take. If you take with rook f5, he play rook e on. Still, maybe this is maybe good for you. I don't know. Even very tough because e5 also hanging. If you take f3, he will take e5. So in this kind of structure, sometimes if you are up a pawn, but this is not winning. Rook endgame is very tricky, but still you don't do not up anything. Okay, king g2. So a5. A5 idea, I need to play a4 and rook a6, rook b6.
You go after
So
b2?
a4,
What?
yeah,
What is the idea?
a5.
Yeah, so play rook a6 and rook b6, you said?
Yeah, first the idea is play a4.
Okay.
After that, I can move my rook with like a6, b6, something like that.
Okay.
Even a4 and b5, c4 I can play. Like rook c6, c4 I can play. So yeah, 4 and king f7. So I need to put my king. This is the king to okay, you need to try to like active your king. So rook is1, king is6, is4. Okay, I don't need to do anything here because this structure is like good for me. If you take, I
Yeah.
just take with ace pawn. Bishop is no way. So rook b8. The idea is I wanted to play b5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First, I need to decide. I am playing a c6 b5 or direct b5. Maybe c6 b5 is stronger than b5. So take and b3. Okay. So first of all, we know this is good for us because the bishop is step. But we need to, if you wanted to win, we need to break something. But this is not easy. Yes. So how to like মানে আপনি কিভাবে এই পজিশনটা এন্টার করবেন? সো c6, rook a2, b5. এখানে খেলেছে হচ্ছে rook a1.
Yeah.
If you play b4 and then this game is completely equal. So yeah, so how this is the main time. So you need to decide what you can do here. So yeah, how to play here. So we
Mm.
can think 5 minutes because if you block the position, if you extend something, or if you ignore all the thing.
You have to play c4 here.
Before.
c4, c4.
Yes. Because if you wait, so we can do nothing. C4 is very strong because you need to enter. If you even up a down a pawn, this is no matter because you are up a piece here. C4. In the game, he played C4 and take. Then what?
C takes b3, I think, is the best. Hello?
Yes, what?
C takes b3.
C takes B3. Okay, so this is very like if he take, then just take and B2 you get queen. Okay, he need to take, otherwise he don't have any other option. So now rook. Okay, we can check any other on an other variation. Okay, like if you take, you just take this
Yeah.
and take and just rook before. It's completely winning position because you just take C. Even first, you don't need to take C4. First, you put the rook on A to B8, then take. Okay. So then rook before also set. C2 is also hanging. So this is completely winning position. So, okay. Take, take, and what do you want to take there? Take with rook or pawn?
Rook takes b5.
Yes. So rook A4. The idea is simple. You want to play like a D4.
I don't know, man. Seems to be working just fine. I would probably just play bishop b4 here.
Bishop.
Bishop b4, because he's got some static weaknesses that are not going anywhere anytime soon. So I don't need to let him get some counterplay and stuff with d4 and try to go after b3, all this kind of stuff. Let's just keep it simple
How?
and slowly play for against d3 or something. Yeah, I'll just play bishop b4.
You want to play Bishop B4.
Maybe
Then rook
something
C.
like bishop b4. He just tries that, then
This is a very important thing, position. You need to decision. Okay, if you play rook B3, okay. If you take A5, you just take D3. Then after that, you are completely winning because C-pawn is like passer. Okay, you just push your C-pawn. You don't have any other counter play. Nothing he can do. Okay, but after rook b3, he will play d4. So you need to think this. After d4, you have a like, did you see this is winning? Then I think you need to go. Otherwise, you play another thing. Because d4 is serious threat.
I don't really understand. What am I gaining from letting him play d4? Nothing. Like, why should I allow that move?
What?
Right?
What you said?
Like, there's no reason why I should ever allow him to play d4. That just opens up his bishop. I want to keep that bishop trapped in. So, I'm going to play moves that do not allow d4,
Okay.
basically.
So
So,
what is the move?
I think I would want to play bishop b4 still.
Okay. Rook c1. Then what?
Then I play maybe rook c5.
Rook c5.
Yep. Let's play rook c4.
Or maybe if you when you play rook c5, you just move this rook.
Rook d8.
Okay, why would he don't take? Okay, if he take,
Bishop.
now this is hard because c6 is gone.
Hmm.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, because king d6, d5.
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, this is kind of hard to meet now because I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is something he create counterplay, but this is take. Why you not take this? Okay, if he play d5 in the game, he will play a d4, then just look here.
Then,
Like I will take with pawn.
right. Right.
So rook c4 he play, then just took b4. Okay, the thing is, if he take, I will take with the bishop, and if he takes c6, I am taking d4 pawn with rook. Now the thing is, like I have a on pass pawn and same thing. He has bishop. Bishop is like trap. So this is completely winning position. Like he take and rooks beyond a5, rook a2, a3 in the game. Rook a2 and rook b5, rook b2, here. Just completely
Oh.
just what? Okay, you can just reason দিয়ে দিছে আর কি।
Oh, okay.
জাস্ট এখানে গেলেই হয়, সব খেয়ে দিবে একটার পর এক। Even just move the king, my king, and play bishop b5 and so nothing he can do.
Okay.
Okay, the first of all, you need to play g5 because you don't have any other option, and another thing is you need to play g4 because in this structure, bishop g3 is like very bad, like bad shape because you can't do anything. Your bishop is like trapped, like look pawn.
Right.
Even if you pawn, you can play f4. This bishop you can't play f4. So
Got it. Okay.
and c6, b5, and c4 is the most turning point. Okay, the when you play positional chess, the main thing is you will get advantage, but this advantage is not like you are winning. Okay, you have some chance. When you have get chance, you need to like do here. If you do later, then you are just you can't win. It's happened with me. Like when I'm like in 2022, I'm playing very solid and playing like this kind of way. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I can't win. Okay, like after like 35 move, I have a like always like +1. Okay, more than,
Mhm.
not more than that, plus one, 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 one. Okay, I am pressing something, something. So, but when after 35, 36 move, I just like I have a square knight on my f5 or bishop on my f5 like that. My knight on d5. Okay, this is the strong output I will get. But I just misses something, and he will take my knight, and the after that the like 2, 3 move later, my position is completely equal.
Mm.
But you won't play. You are tactical. You are playing tactical shape. Then you actually the thing is different. If you play blunder something, then nothing. If you blunder 2, 3, 5 move, after that you will see your position is also winning. Is still winning. So this is the different actually we are playing positionally. So you need to like play accurate move in that time. Okay. Otherwise you can't win. If you are better, but you can't win. So yeah, this the C4 is very turning point in this matter.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
এটা E4 এর এন্ড গেম আর কি, দুইটাই এন্ড গেম নিয়ে।
Mhm.
How much time do you have?
Till at least 4 p.m. 5 p.m. actually. The next 5 hours I'm free. Yeah, 5 hours.
Okay. So how long you wanna meet now?
As many hours as you can give me, man. At least 3. We can take a short break after maybe an hour and a half or something if you want.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's just keep going because it's hard for us to connect. So whenever we both are free, just knock out as many hours as possible.
Okay, sure. This is like another position, very common position, and the idea is very similar. Okay, in your opinion, this kind of position definitely come in your in game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this why to play. Okay, you can play rook c4 and queen c4. Both you can play.
Mm-hmm. I probably would just play queen c2, right? Because after rook c4, queen b5 is there, and that's gonna be kind of tough to meet that move.
What?
Queen is pinned, and um, yeah, I was just saying I'll probably play queen c2 here instead of rook c4
Queen
and queen
c2.
b5. Hello?
Yes, Queen c2 you can play, but this is not like a very good move. Okay, so this is the concept. When you need to exchange the piece, when need to like we don't need to exchange the piece.
The other move that you said, you told me to pick between rook c4 and queen c2. Was that that was the
Queen
question?
is not c2, Queen c4.
Oh, okay. I was looking at rook c4 this whole time.
No, no, Rook c4 and Queen c4.
Rook c4 and queen c4 were the two options.
Yes,
Well, then obviously I'd play queen c4. Rook c4 runs into queen b5.
yes. Why? Why you need to exchange this string? So you need to explain.
Why do I want to
Why is the
exchange
best
queens?
move? Queen c4 is best move. Yes. In the game also played Queen c4, but why?
Well, because the thing is that, well, first of all, rook c4 has an immediate drawback, right? Queen b5 is a move. That's gonna be hard to meet.
Okay, you get the option Rook c4 and Queen c4, but when he play the game, he don't have any. He can play anything. Why he play Queen c4? Okay, first of all, I can explain you. So he have like weakness. This kind of position, you like this is the very equal position. This is very tough to get like big initiative.
I know why he played queen c4. I can explain to you. The
Yeah,
reason
sure.
he
Okay.
played queen c4 is because, as you said, black has a weakness on e6. Black is going to try to create, he has a static weakness on e6. White does not have any static weaknesses. Black's job is to create dynamic play. White's job is to stop dynamic play and play on his static weakness. Therefore,
Yes,
it makes a lot of sense to stop any kind of dynamic play with queen c4 and then slowly play against that weakness.
yes. So the main thing is white have no weakness. Okay. Black has three weakness. E5, E6, and B7.
Yeah.
B7 he can't protect with any piece. The thing you need to note this thing. He need if you play like here, you just remove both queen. B7 he need to play C6. Otherwise rook B8 he can't play bishop A7 you have. So
Sure.
yeah. So queen C4, rook D on. Okay, just take because take and king H2 because
Mhm.
like rook D2 nothing he can do because after take C6 is hanging B6 everything is hanging. Okay,
Yes.
he do nothing with this like file. So you need to take otherwise you just take like B7 where he can go. So rook takes. So C7 is hanging. You need to play C6. You don't have any other option. So rook B4 and rook D7. You don't have any other option. So the thing is now the all the dark square is under control for white. White has strong bishop and the main thing is e5 pawn is hanging. Okay,
Mhm.
and this kind of position you do not get a long like a big advantage. You need if you like আপনি যদি এখানে বোর্ডে কুইন টুইন রাখেন তাহলে মেইন সমস্যা হচ্ছে কি এই যে অ্যাডভান্টেজ আছে সেই অ্যাডভান্টেজে উইন করা যায় না মানে
Mhm.
এই স্মল অ্যাডভান্টেজ নিয়ে বাট তখন আপনাকে এমন একটা পিস নিয়ে যেতে হবে যে পিসটাতে হচ্ছে আপনার কিছু প্লে ক্রিয়েট হওয়ার চান্স থাকবে সো ওকে কিং জি3 লাইক কিং এফ3 কিংটা গেমে আনার ট্রাই করতেছে আর কি কিং এফ7 কিং এফ3 জি5 ওকে জি5 g5 actually like he wanted to play like king g6 and h5 g4 if he play then this is like white black get some like strong or like piece activity.
Mhm.
Okay, now what you can do now?
Or just stop that possibility. G4.
G4.
Wait, hold on. Let me think.
Before play
Yeah,
G4,
yeah.
you mean?
Fix those weaknesses. Fix that
So
pawns on the
fix
dark
those
squares.
weaknesses, then after
It's not a
how you
weakness,
win
but
the
just
game.
fixing the pawns on the dark squares.
Then how you win the game if you block this square. What is your winning idea?
How I win the game, I will eventually play rook a4, rook a1, rook h1, and play h5 is one idea. I may also play like on the queen side, maybe go for
Okay,
a knight
whatever you
here.
can do, he just play king g7, g6, sorry. So maybe this is winning for you. Okay, you can think. This is a very like okay, give me 1 minute, okay? I will be back.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Um,
ওকে, আমি আপনাকে একটা জিনিস কথা বলছি। অলওয়েজ অবশ্যই আমি জি4 চার চিন্তা করব। জি4 হচ্ছে কি, আমি তাকে প্রোটেক্ট করছি, মানে তার অ্যাটাকিংটা আমি ফিরাচ্ছি। বাট তার অলওয়েজ আমি আগে কি করব, নিজে অ্যাটাক করতে পারে কিনা সেটা দেখবো। ডু হ্যাভ এনি অ্যাটাকিং আইডিয়া নাও? সো ইউ ডোন্ট হ্যাভ, ইউ ডু নট হ্যাভ এনি আইডিয়া, দেন ইউ ক্যান প্লে লাইক দিস। But you have a strong attacking idea, then why you play this? Already you know your opponent weakness. तो कुछ में समाया समाया समाया।
well, you could try to go after e5, but the thing is that okay, so there's a couple of things here. I don't understand if white was gonna go for e5, that was the idea, then white should have just played f3 or something and kept the king on e2 and played rook c5, bishop b8 or a2 or something like that and just taken the e5 pawn. So
Why
what
did you not
played
see
king f3.
bishop a7?
I see bishop a7, but thing is that I need multiple pieces to attack the e5, right? He'll play knight, move the knight, and he'll play king f6, right?
Yes. Then if he play king f6, he never play like this.
The thing is
King
that
f6.
after that, I mean, I guess I can keep pressuring him. You know, I can continue then trying to expand or something like that. Maybe then I
Okay, rook
can.
c4, rook c5. Even you can play.
E4 is hanging.
Okay,
Uh,
if what is
it-
hanging, if your his knight on f6, his knight on not f6, it
oh, knight is gone.
hanging.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Okay, then I mean,
And
before I do that, I need to bring my king back to e2.
you don't need to move your king because he can't play rook d3. Just play king e2. Not here because b7 also hanging. If he lost, give you b7, then completely losing nothing.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't see the b7. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So bishop a7, very strong idea. So knight g8 he need to play because he need to put the king on f6. So now
Yeah.
a4, very
Oh,
strong.
oh, oh.
Any problem?
No.
a4. Okay. Now he can play g4. The thing is, if he can't play like king c6, then you take and take the t. Or now g5 pawn is also on like that one. Even if he play king f6, so you can play king g4 also.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why he take. But take this, maybe he can like play king g6, but okay, king g6 also same thing. Like king f6. You play just king g4, and next move you play bishop e3. So take, then what we do? So you can play bishop e3 or bishop e7 and king g4 directly.
Um, I would play king g4 first because he's threatening h3, I think. Maybe. Yeah, he would play h3 or something like that. I don't have to take the h3 pawn though, that's the thing. Bishop b8 is also a move, but I think it makes more sense for me to grab the h4 pawn first. I think so. Um, I don't know actually. Let me think. Because after h3, I won't take it. I'll just play g3 or maybe g4 even. And I can pick up the h3 pawn later on, but it might not be as easy. And if I go king g4 now and try to go after that pawn right away and take it, can I still take bishop e5? I think so. Nothing is really stopping me from going for that idea either.
Okay.
Maybe he'll have knight e7, knight g6 coming.
Okay, king g4.
Yeah.
So knight e7. Now take or king a4.
Now, yeah, take the pawn before he plays knight g6.
King, take the pawn.
Yeah.
Bishop e3. সো আমি যদি এই কিংটা আসলে তার জি6 আনতে চাচ্ছি, তার নাইট জি6 টা আসতে পারবে না।
Hmm.
ওকে, সো নাইট জি6 ইজ ভেরি স্ট্রং মুভ। আর এখন যদি নাইট জি6 আসে, আমি যদি এইচ6 পনটা খাই, তাহলে বিষয়টা এইচ4 পনটা কিন্তু খুবই উইক, তাই না? এইচ6 পনটা তো আমি পরবর্তীতে খেতে পারবো, এটা তো খুব একটা কঠিন কিছু না। সো এটা হচ্ছে খুব ভালো একটা আইডিয়া। সো নাইট জি8 খেলতে হবে, অন্য কোনো চাল নাই। অর হি ক্যান প্লে নাও। ওকে, সো নাইট জি8 প্লে, সো নাও টেক। তো এখন সমস্যা হয়েছে যদি কিং
I don't
জি6।
understand why couldn't he just take the pawn first and then play bishop e3 next?
বাট
Why couldn't he just take the pawn?
মানে হুইচ
Because
পন?
then he would have, if he had taken on h4 first, then knight g6 would have happened. Is that what you're saying?
ইয়া
So,
হেয়ার হেয়ার হেয়ার
like here, taking on h, I don't understand this. So you're saying that the difference,
ওকে,
if
ইফ ইউ
you,
টেক নাও নাইট জি4, বাট বিকজ ইউ কান্ট গো হেয়ার, দিস ইজ দ্য প্রবলেম, হি প্লে নাইট এফ4। Otherwise, the thing is like, okay, after take, okay, knight e4.
So
If
White is
there,
trying to do everything on the king side using just the king and the bishop. He's not planning on using the rook over there. Is that what you're saying? Because the rook is trying to attack b7 always. Down
yes,
the black
rook
rook.
also is hanging because okay, আমার তো সব সময় যদি আমি একটা পিস অ্যাটাক করে যদি আমি অ্যাডভান্টেজ পাই তাহলে তো ওই পিসটা আনার দরকার নেই, পিসটা অবশ্যই আনবো, বাট এখন তো ওই পিসটাও কাজ করছে। বিফোর রুকটা কিন্তু ই4 কোন গার্ড করছে সেটা বি7, তার রুকটা তো আর কোনো কাজ করতেছে না, লাইক আমার বিশপটা আর তার নাইটটাই খেলতেছে বোর্ডে। মাই নাইট ইজ, আমার বিশপ তো অনেক স্ট্রং, তো আমি বিশপ দিয়ে তো আসলে এখানে অ্যাডভান্টেজটা পাচ্ছি। অবশ্যই আমি রুকটা আনবো, সেটা
Right.
সময় মতো আর কি।
Okay.
এখন তো আমি টাইম পাচ্ছি না যে রুকটা আনার, যখন আমি রুকটা আনতে যাব তখন এর মধ্যে কিন্তু আমার পজিশনটা আপনার হয়ে যাবে, মানে অতটাই থাকবে না।
Right. Got it.
মানে এখানে তো আমি অ্যাটাক করলাম, তো তারপরে এটা দিলাম, এটা খাইলাম, সো কিং ই8 করেছে, ই8 করেছে, কিং ডেট, মানে এখানে আসলে চাল নাই, কি চালবে?
Yeah.
বাট ওকে, তারপরেও এই চালটা বেশি বাজে হয়ে গেছে, মানে কিং ই8 করেছে। আইডিয়া তো সিম্পল, রুক জি7 করা আর কি। সো এখন রুক বি3 করেছে, যত সে কিং মুভ করেছে, আমার এখন রুকটা গেমে আনা দরকার।
Okay.
সো রুক জি7, জি4, তো রুক এফ7 করেছে, দেন সি4। ওকে, সি4 এর সিম্পল আইডিয়া রুক ডি3 তে আনা, কারণ আমি যদি এখন এই রুকের সাথে এই রুক এক্সচেঞ্জ করতে পারি, কমপ্লিটলি আমার উইনিং পজিশন, কারণ রুক জাস্ট কিং এইচ4 গিয়ে এই6 পয়েন্টটা খেয়ে দিব, ঠিক আছে?
Yeah.
আর সেই সাথে আমি রুক ডি6ও যেতে পারি, লাইক রুক ডি3, রুক ডি6, এন্ড লাইক আপনার যদি কিং ই7 যায় তাহলে আবার বিশপ সি5 আছে। সো অনেক আইডিয়া আছে আসলে। আর কিং ই7 না গেলে কোনটা আপনি বাঁচাবেন কিভাবে?
Right.
ওকে, রুক ডি7 এসেছে, আসলে রুক ডি7 আসলে রুক ডি6 আসলে জাস্ট গেম ওভার। ওকে, কারণ ওই যে ই6 পর্যন্ত চলে যাচ্ছে অন্য কোন ভাবে, আর রুক এফ6 যে সাপোর্ট দেওয়া তো ডেঞ্জারাস বিষয়, তখন আবার আবার বিশপ বি6 আছে। সো ওকে, স্টিল আবার রুকে বিশপ এ7 করেছে, কারণ এখানে আমার এখন আইডিয়া হচ্ছে রুক এফ3 তে আনা, ঠিক আছে? আমার মেইন আইডিয়া যে বিশপ বি8 তে আনা, আমার রুকটা গেমে আনা আর কি।
Right. Okay.
সো নাইট এফ6 করেছে, দেন এফ3, কারণ কোন ধরা। আবার রুক ডি7 করেছে, চাল তো দিতে হবে। এখন বিশপ বি8, কারণ এখন আর আমার ই3 তে দরকার নাই, এখন এইদিকে আমি অলরেডি কিংটা যে জায়গায় আছে আমি অলরেডি কিন্তু পজিশনটা অ্যাডভান্টেজটা পেয়ে গেছি। এখন তার অনলি মুভ আসলে নাইট ডি7, এখন নাইট ডি7 এর সমস্যা হচ্ছে বি7 তো আর গার্ড দিতে পারছে না একসাথে দুইটা। এখন এই নাইট ডি7 তো এখন হচ্ছে বিশপ ডি6, এখন আপনার ই5 বি7 দুইটা হচ্ছে না। এখন কিন্তু আগে কিন্তু বিশপটা ই3 তে ছিল স্ট্রং, কারণ আমি এই6 অ্যাটাক করে যাচ্ছি, বাট এখন এই6টা কিন্তু অ্যাটাকটা চেয়ে আমি যদি জাস্ট বিশপ এখানে ডি6 আনছি, জাস্ট কোনো পিসের মুভমেন্ট নেই, কমপ্লিটলি ক্লাবস। সো কিং ডি8 করেছে, আর এখানে যদি আপনার নাইট এফ8 করতে, আমি খাবো না, আমি জাস্ট কিং এইচ5 করতাম, এর পরবর্তী চাইলে হয়তো আমি খেয়ে দিতাম। ডি8 করেছে, কিং এইচ5 করেছে, স্টিল রুক এফ6 করেছে। আলটিমেটলি এখানে তো করার কিছু নেই, জাস্ট রুক ডি3। সো কিং ই8 করেছে, কারণ ই5 খাওয়ার থ্রেট ছিল, এখন জাস্ট আবার বিশপ বি5। আইডিয়া সিম্পলি আমি বিশপ ডি2 তে এসে খেয়ে দিতে পারি, আর সেই সাথে রুক ডি6ও যেতে পারি। সো বোথ আইডিয়া, বাট এখন সমস্যা হচ্ছে ব্ল্যাক খেলবে কি? ব্ল্যাক
Right.
নাইট সরাতে পারে না, মানে নাইট সরে কোথায় যাবে, ব্ল্যাক রুকটাও সরাতে পারে না। সো এখানে গেমে সি5 করেছে, আর কিছু কাউন্টার প্লে ক্রিয়েট করতে হবে, জাস্ট বিশপ ডি2, জাস্ট এই পয়েন্টটাকে অ্যাটাক করেছে আমি। সো পুরা বোর্ডে আমি আসলে করলাম আর কি, মানে অপোনেন্টকে ঘোরালাম আর কি ইচ্ছা মতো আমার নিজের। সো রুক এফ7 করেছে, কারণ এই পয়েন্টটা চলে যাচ্ছে অলরেডি, মানে পয়েন্ট তো বাঁচানোর কোনো জায়গা নেই।
Yeah.
রুক এফ7 করেছে, জাস্ট বিশপ টেক্স, নাইট এফ6 করেছে, কিং জি6, নাইট জি8, এন্ড বিশপ জি5। সো আপনার বিশপ জি5 এর পর এখানে জাস্ট মেট ধরা, তো মেটটা বাঁচাবে কিভাবে? সো নাইট দিয়ে চেক দিয়ে জাস্ট টেক করে দিয়েছে। সো টেক করার পর কমপ্লিটলি, এখন যদি কিং দিয়ে টেক করেন রুক ডি7 দিয়ে দিব, ঠিক আছে?
Right.
আর যদি রুক দিয়ে টেক করেন স্টিল কিং এফ6, কমপ্লিটলি উইনিং, সব কোন ফ্রিতে চলে যাবে, একটা কোন উপরে থাকবে না।
Mm. Yeah, makes sense.
ওকে, সো গেমটা দেখে কি বুঝলেন? মানে জাস্ট আপনার অপোনেন্টের যে নিজের মানে আমি যেটা বুঝছি যে অপোনেন্টের যে উইকনেস আছে সেটা তো অবশ্যই আমার ফার্স্ট প্রায়োরিটি দিয়ে অ্যাটাক করতে হবে। সেই সাথে
Right.
ডিফেন্সিভ চিন্তা করার চেয়ে অপোনেন্টকে প্রেসার করা যায় কিভাবে এবং পিসটা কোথায় পারফেক্ট প্লেস এটা আসলে বসাইতে হবে। আমার চিন্তা করতে হবে
Mhm.
কখন কোন পিসটা আসলে কখন কোথায় দরকার, E3 তে থাকলে কখন কি করবে, কখন B5 থাকবে। পুরো গেম কিন্তু বিশপ মুভ করে করেই গেম শেষ হয়ে গেছে। ইভেন ব্ল্যাক কিন্তু এখানে
Yeah.
জাস্ট গেম কার, এটা আপনি কিন্তু মিচেল অ্যাডামস এর গেম। আর অপোনেন্ট হচ্ছে 2600 গ্র্যান্ড মাস্টার স্টিল, ঠিক আছে।
Yeah. Yeah, that's like good game, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
হ্যাঁ, আপনার এই টাইপের গেম, এই বইটা আপনার জন্য একদম পারফেক্ট বই বই হয়েছে। বইটা আমি জানতামই না এই বই সম্পর্কে।
I see.
মানে খুবই এক্সিলেন্ট বই আপনার স্টাইলের জন্য।
Right.
ওকে, উই ক্যান টেক এ ব্রেক 5-7 মিনিট।
Okay. After
ওকে,
break, let's play a game and then go back to the lessons again.
ওকে, শিওর।
Yeah, I need to get some coffee also. I was getting tired.
ওকে, 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 11:35 উইল